Good morning, class. Our first topic is the digital communication skills. Digital communication skills have revolutionized and changed the rules of more traditional communication both personally and professionally. And through this topic, you can learn how to communicate information digitally and how to communicate effectively. This will build your self confidence and improve your 21st century communication skills. You will also become a better communicator in the workplace. First, we have the tips for effective business texting. First, know your recipient. Before you start inserting too much personality into your text, make sure the tone fits your audience and message. Second, anticipate unintentional misinterpretation. Texting often uses symbols and codes to represent thoughts, ideas, and emotions. Given the complexity of communication and the useful but limited tool of texting, be aware of its limitation and prevent misinterpretation with brief messages. Third, contacting someone too frequently can border on harassment. Fourth, unplug yourself once in a while. Sometimes being unavailable for a time can be healthy, everything in moderation, including texting. Fifth, don't text and drive. Being in an accident while conducting company business would reflect poorly on your judgment as well as on your employer. Next, we have the tips for effective business emails. First, proper salutations should demonstrate respect and avoid mix ups in case a message is accidentally sent to the wrong recipient. Second, subject lines should be clear, brief, and specific. This helps the recipient understand the essence of the message. Third, close with a signature. Identify yourself by creating a signature block that automatically contains your name and business contact information. Fourth, avoid abbreviations. Fifth, be brief, omit unnecessary words. 6. Use a good format. Include line breaks between sentences or divide your message into brief paragraphs for ease of reading. A good email should get to the point and conclude in three small paragraphs or less. 7. Reread, revise, and review. Catch and correct spelling and grammar mistakes before you press send. 8. Reply promptly. Watch out for an emotional response. Never reply in anger, but make a habit of replying to all emails within 24 hours, even if only to say that you will provide the requested information in 48 or 72 hours. 9. Use reply all sparingly. 10. Avoid using all caps. Capital letters are used to the internet to communicate emphatic emotion or yelling and are considered rude. 11. Test links. If you include a link, test it, make sure it is complete. 12. Email ahead of time if you are going to attach large files. 13. Give feedback or follow up. If you don't get a response in 24 hours, email or call. Spam filters may have intercepted your message, so your recipient may never have received it. Okay. Next, we talk about the netiquette. So, what is netiquette? A netiquette, abbreviation of internet etiquette or network etiquette. It is a guidelines for courteous communication in the online environment. It includes proper manners for sending email, conversing online, and so on. much like traditional etiquette, which provides rules of conduct in social situations. The purpose of netiquette is to help construct and maintain a pleasant, comfortable, and efficient environment for online communication, as well as to avoid placing strain on the system and generating conflict among users. So, what does good web etiquette look like? For society, recognizing that the internet is an extension of society, applying the same standards online as we do in public, refusing to empower abuse and harassment while online, and acknowledge cultural differences. For business, respecting rights of privacy for offline employees. Second, maintaining transparency and information policies. Now we have examples here. First, avoid posting inflammatory comments or offensive comments online. Never spam others by sending large amounts of unsolicited email. Don't troll people in web forums or website comments by repeatedly nagging or annoying them. Respect others' privacy by not sharing personal information, photos, or videos that another person may not want published. And avoid replying to negative comments with more negative comments. Instead, break the cycle with a positive post. Okay, now we have here an examples of a bad netiquette. And we also have an examples of good netiquette. Okay, netiquette includes rules that provide guidance for appropriate social interaction and technical performance online. What constitutes good netiquette varies among the many subcultures of the internet, and of course, netiquette issues change with time and technology. The author of Netiquette is Virginia Shea, dubbed the Network Manners Guru by the San Jose Mercury News. Virginia Shea has been a student of human nature all her life. So we have here Virginia Shea's netiquette. First, remember the human on the other side of the electronic communication. When communicating electronically, whether through email, instant message, discussion post, text, or some other method, practice the golden rule. Do unto others as you would have others do unto you. Remember, your written words are read by real people, all deserving of respectful communication. Before you press send or submit, ask yourself, would I be okay with this if someone else had written it? Second, adhere to the same standards of behavior online that you follow in real life. While it can be argued that standards of behavior may be different in the virtual world, they certainly should not be lower. You should do your best to act within the laws and ethical manners of society whenever you inhabit cyberspace. Would you behave rudely to someone face to face? On most occasions, no. Neither should you behave this way in the virtual world. Third, know where you are in cyberspace. Netiquette varies from domain to domain. Depending on where you are in the virtual world, the same written communication can be acceptable in one area, where it might be considered inappropriate in another. What you text to a friend may not be appropriate in an email to a classmate or colleague. So you can think of another example. 4. Respect other people's time and bandwidth. Electronic communication takes time to read and time in which to respond. Most people today lead busy lives, just like you do, and don't have time to read or respond to frivolous emails or discussion posts. As a virtual world communicator, it is your responsibility to make sure that the time spent reading your words isn't wasted. Make your written communication meaningful and to the point without extraneous text or superfluous graphics or attachments that may take forever to download. 5. Make yourself look good online. One of the best things about the virtual world is the lack of judgment associated with your physical appearance, sound of your voice, or the clothes you wear. You will, however, be judged by the quality of your writing, so keep the following tips in mind. Always check for spelling and grammar errors. Know what you're talking about and state it clearly. Be pleasant and polite. 6. Share expert knowledge. The internet offers its users many benefits. One of one of these is the ease in which information can be shared or accessed, and in fact, this information sharing capability is one of the reasons the internet was founded. So, in the spirit of the internet's founding fathers, share what you know. When you post a question and receive intelligent answers, share the results with others. Are you an expert at something? Post resources and reference about your subject matter. Recently expanded your knowledge about a subject that might be of interest to others. Share that as well. 7. Keep flame wars under control. What is meant by flaming and flame wars? Flaming is what people do when they express a strongly held opinion without holding back any emotion. As an example, think of the kinds of passionate comments you might read on a sports blog. While flaming is not necessarily forbidden in virtual communication, flame wars, when two people or three people exchange angry posts between one another, must be controlled or the camaraderie of the group could be compromised. Don't feed the flames. Extinguish them by guiding the discussion back to a more productive direction. 8. Respect other people's privacy. Depending on what you are reading in the virtual world, be it an online class discussion forum, Facebook page, or an email, you may be exposed to some private or personal information that needs to be handled with care. Perhaps someone is sharing some medical news about a loved one or discussing a situation at work. What do you think would happen if this information got into the wrong hands? Embarrassment, hurt feelings, loss of a job, just as you expect others to respect your privacy, so should you respect the privacy of others. Be sure to err on the side of caution when deciding to discuss or not to discuss virtual communication. 9. Don't abuse your power. Just like in face to face situations, there are people in cyberspace who have more power than others. They have more expertise in technology or they have years of experience in a particular skill or subject matter. Maybe it's you who possesses all of this knowledge, and power. Just remember, knowing more than others do or having more power than others may have does not give you the right to take advantage of anyone. Think of rule number one: remember the human. And 10, be forgiving of other people's mistakes. Not everyone has the same amount of experience working in the virtual world, and not everyone knows the rules of netiquette. At some point, you will see a stupid question, read an unnecessary long response, or encounter misspelled words. When this happens, practice kindness and forgiveness, as you would hope someone would do if you had committed the same offense. If it's a minor offense, you might want to let it slide. If you feel compelled or respond to a mistake, do so in a private email or rather than a public forum. Netiquette in online education. First, no yelling. Second, sarcasm can and will backfire. Third, don't abuse the chat box. Chat boxes are incorporated into many online classes as a place for students to share ideas and ask questions related to the lesson. It can be a helpful resource or a major distraction. It all depends on how well students know their classroom etiquette. Fourth, attempt to find your own answer. If you're confused or stuck on a assignment, your first instinct may be to be immediately ask a question, but before you ask, take the time to try and figure it out on your own. 5. Stop grammar time. Always make an effort to use proper punctuation, spelling, and grammar. 6. Set a respectful tone. To proper punctuation and spelling, it's a good etiquette to use respectful greetings and signatures, full sentences, and even the same old please and thank you use in real life. 7. Submit files the right way. Online course instructors often establish ground rules for file assignment submissions, like naming conventions that help them keep things organized or acceptable file formats. Ignoring these instructions is a common example of bad etiquette. 8. Read first. 9. Think before you type. And 10. Be kind and professional. Now, we also have these legal considerations. Computers had been in use for a couple of decades before the Copyright Act of 1985 was amended in 1997 to deal with internet enabled copyright infringement. So, the rapid pace of technology means that the law cannot always stay current with the realities of business communication. Developments since then will continue to demand new laws to clarify what is fair and ethical, what should be prohibited, and who owns the rights to what. Okay, we have here an example. Suppose your supervisor asks you to use your Facebook page or Twitter account to give an occasional plug to your company's products. Are you obliged to comply? If you later change jobs, who owns your posts or tweets? Are they yours, or does your now former employer have a right to them? And what about your network of friends? Can your employer use their contact information to send marketing messages? So, what's wrong with the two sentences above? They may land you and your company in court, and you made a generalized claim of one product being better than another, and you stated it as if it were a fact. The next sentence claims that your competitor's product is dangerous, even if it if this is true. Your ability to prove your claim beyond a reasonable doubt may be limited. Your claim is stated as fact again, and from the other company's perspective, your sentences may be considered libel or defamation.